Hello and welcome. My name is Jackie Thorngate, and today's topic will be on professional dispositions in the field of education. The disposition to teach has been identified as the most influential quality of highly effective educators. Dispositions are the values, commitments, and professional ethics that influence behaviors towards students, families, colleagues, and communities, and affect student learning, motivation, and development, as well as the educator's professional growth. While supporting the learning, improving planning, and practice, the special education teacher has a very integral role in this process. To start off, the special education teacher facilitates the participation of students with disabilities in the regular and self-contained classroom environments. In the learning process, teachers are responsible for learning the curriculum in order to teach it effectively. This includes implementing the state standards to make sure that each student is making progress, especially in regards to IEP goals. Furthermore, educators themselves are responsible for enhancing their own teaching through developmental classes that are offered by the district. This can help them improve their teaching practice and add to the educational experience of each student. It is equally important for special education teachers to plan and carry out their lesson plans in a timely fashion. Currently, in my classroom of 5 students, weekly lesson plans are developed for each student. Not one child in my class learns the same way, nor are they on the same level academically, so lesson planning is crucial. Because of the different levels of cognition, physical attributes, and levels of motivation. Accommodations and modifications need to be implemented in order to reach each student at their individual level. By practicing what is learned in college, professional development classes, and collaborating with colleagues, special educators will be able to meet the needs of each student in and out of the classroom. When upholding professional expectations and ethics and collaboratively advancing the profession, the role of the special educator is very important. According to the Council for Exceptional Children, professional special educators are guided by the CEC professional ethical principles, practice standards, and professional policies in ways that respect diverse characteristics and needs of individuals with exceptionalities and their families. This includes respecting the religious, cultural, and history of the student. Understanding where the students came from can help bridge the gap between just reaching the students and forming a lasting relationship with them. Ethical boundaries also help the educator advocate for the student by protecting the rights of the student through the laws that are in place and by the policies that are enforced by the district. This, in turn, will help collaboration between colleagues to advance the educational profession in a direction that benefits the needs of the students. Currently, the dispositions that I currently possess that make me a successful teacher would have to be believing that all students can learn, and I should set and support realistic expectations for student success, and by being committed to the profession of teaching and learning. I pick these dispositions because I am a huge believer that all students are capable of learning. My current students are some of the lowest functioning in the school and nonverbal. I have looked past these challenges and embraced them. And I also found a way to help educate these exceptional learners. The dispositions that could have been better executed before my first year of teaching would have to be understanding the effect of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. Going into that first year, I was not fully aware of how helpful the involvement of the community could be because of my inexperience in this new career choice. Those ideals changed in my next 2 years because of the gained knowledge that helped shape me into a more experienced educator. This leads us to bias in the classroom. As stated previously, I work very hard to make sure that my students are included and they have every opportunity to be educated. Differences are celebrated, and if a teacher has any bias against any student, then their opinions can affect the way they choose to teach that student. The student could feel underappreciated without the teacher even realizing this. Race could also be a factor when generating bias about a student. For instance, this school year, I had a lovely young man join my class that was of African American heritage. He is also living with autism and struggling with obesity. Do you think that I looked at all those things and judged him? Not at all, because this young student is not defined by those pieces. He is an individual with a name that deserves the best from me for his education. These biases could affect the relationship with the students and their families by making it seem like you're not accepting of the student, which could cause the family not to trust you. Having an equitable classroom environment is how I overcome these biases every day. Each student has the right to an education and a teacher that can fulfill these ideals. Professional dispositions are the cornerstone of education, plain and simple. Ethical practices, learning to educate without bias, and understanding the needs of the students is how an educator can meet the needs of every student. I appreciate your feedback, and I thank you for your time.